Hi, I'm Davy. I'm awesome. And welcome to Davy's Awesome Wrestling, where I review wrestling-related things, all from the perspective of a fan, not an insider. And this week we had the very first AEW World's End from Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York. Let's get into it. The opening match, an all-star 8-man tag. Basically two teams made up of everybody who was in the Continental Classic who didn't already have a match that night. On one team we had Brody King, Jay Lethal, Roosh, and Jay White versus Claudio Castagnoli, Mark Briscoe, Daniel Garcia, and Bryan Danielson. It was a good opener, but, it was an 8-man tag. But it was a good one, I will give him that. It wasn't too chaotic, but it was chaotic enough. But then again, that's what you should expect, because this was really like an all-star 8-man tag. The talent in this match was phenomenal. Of course, we had Daddy Magic Matt Menard, who was outside doing commentary, like he's been doing every time Daniel Garcia has been wrestling. And Brody King got in his face, basically calling him out for the fact that he talks so much crap. And it ended with Daniel Garcia getting a roll-up onto Jay Lethal and getting the pin for his team. And after the match ended, off-screen, apparently Brody King clocked Daddy Magic Matt Menard. So we'll see what happens there. As far as this match, like I said, good opener. Easily give it a 3 out of 5. Yeah! Second match, a grudge match of Miro versus Andrade El Idolo. Of course, Miro is still upset because he doesn't want his wife, CJ Parker, in wrestling at all, and she's managing Andrade. It was a good competitive match with a lot of close calls. And eventually, CJ Parker turned on her own client, tripping his arms out, forcing him to break a submission hold, and distracting him so that her husband Miro could get a kick, get the game over, and get the submission over Andrade El Idolo. So is she going to go be her husband's manager? He didn't seem to be all that enthusiastic about it. Is she going to go manage somebody else? It has been confirmed that Andrade is probably not going to re-sign with AEW for no animosity or anything, but he probably wants to go back to WWE where his wife is. Who knows? We'll see. But this match, again, it was good and easily a 3 out of 5. Yeah! Then for the AEW Women's World Championship, the very first AEW Women's Champion, Rio, challenges current champion, Timeless Toni Storm. It was a really good match. Very entertaining. Then again, pretty much anything right now with Timeless Toni Storm is very entertaining. Toni Storm was being brutal in this match, though, like really badly working the back of Rio. And of course, Luther was outside, and he kept getting involved, but not in ways that could get Toni Storm disqualified. But eventually the ref decided he was just going to kick him out of ringside. And of course, that changed the tide for Toni Storm as Rio started getting the advantage. But Toni Storm was able to get the advantage back and hit Rio with an over-the-back DDT, got the pin, and retained her AEW Women's World Championship. Which I pretty much predicted. Right now, Toni Storm's like the hottest thing they got going in the women's division. I didn't think they were going to take the title from her. But easily this match, for the entertainment value alone, 4 out of 5. Yeah! Fourth match, Swerve Strickland versus Dustin Rhodes. It was originally supposed to be Swerve Strickland versus Keith Lee, but apparently he's been dealing with a nagging injury that's acted its way up to the point that he wasn't cleared. So his tag team partner, Dustin Rhodes, stepped in. Then again, even this match almost didn't happen, as before the bell sounded, Swerve Strickland attacked Dustin Rhodes, even to the point of Prince Nana putting his foot on a cinder block so that Swerve Strickland could do the double stomp from the top rope onto it. But Dustin Rhodes, he's a trooper, he's got pride, he wasn't going to stop there. He was going to continue the match. And as you can imagine throughout the match, it was mostly Swerve. But that's not to say that Dustin Rhodes didn't put up a decent fight. But it was pretty predictable at that point that Swerve was going to pick up the win. But again, easily, this one gets its 3 out of 5. Yeah! Then an 8-man tag grudge match, as the reunited Les Sex Gods, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, teamed up with Darby Allin and Sting to take on the tag team champions of Ricky Starks and Big Bill, who were teaming up with members of the Don Callis family, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Konosuke Tezuka. Like the other 8-man tag match earlier, it was good. Like the other one, it was chaotic, but not too chaotic. Like the other one, you knew it was going to be good because of the talent pool in this match. But again, it's an 8-man tag, which they're good, but I don't know. It just felt like a waste to be on that. Like, I get Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho were supposed to challenge for the tag team titles, and then sadly Kenny Omega came down with diverticulitis, the very disease that almost killed Brock Lesnar. But I kind of feel like if they were going to reunite the Les Sex Gods, then they should have just challenged the tag team champions on the night. Would have been more interesting than an 8-man tag. And it went until Sammy Guevara got a combo of the GTH followed by a shooting star press onto Ricky Starks and got the pin, which is setting up for the future tag team title shot. And it was a good way to end the match. Again, nothing wrong with this match. It easily got its 3 out of 5. Yeah! Then for the TBS Championship, House Rules, as Abaddon challenged champion Julia Hart. House Rules, as we know, from the House of Black, it means a 20 count on the outside and no rope breaks. It also means that the opponent gets to pick a stipulation. Abaddon's stipulation, biting is legal. And Abaddon definitely used that stipulation. This match, in and of itself, though, it was really good. There was great back and forth. It's a very entertaining match. The only thing that I think takes away points from this is that it was predictable. I don't think anybody believed that Abaddon was going to walk away as the TBS champion. And of course, Sky Blue eventually came out, distracted Abaddon, got beaten down, but this did give Julia Hart the ability to get the moonsault press, the win, and retain her TBS championship, like we predicted. However, that only takes away a little bit of the points, as it still gets a 4 out of 5. Yeah! Then a no DQ match for the TNT Championship, as the Rated R superstar Adam Copeland challenged Christian Cage. As expected, this match was awesome. Of course, Christian Cage was targeting Adam Copeland's neck, and of course Nick Wayne kept getting involved, but Copeland eventually took him out by powerbombing him through an inflamed table. Shortly after this, he hit Christian Cage with a kill switch, Christian Cage's move, got the pin, and became the brand new TNT champion. But then right after this, Kill Switch, formerly Luchasaurus, now goes by the name of Christian Cage's finisher, came out, beat down Adam Copeland, chokeslammed him onto a chair, because earlier in the night, in the 0 hour, he had won the 20-man Battle Royal for a guaranteed anytime, anywhere TNT title shot. Just as he was about to cash it in, though, Christian Cage came in and made Kill Switch give him that contract so that he could cash it in. Obviously, Kill Switch didn't want to do this. This is showing some animosity between the two of them, but he did oblige. Christian Cage cashed in the contract, hit Edge with a spear, Edge's finisher, for a little poetic justice, got the pin, and became a 2-time TNT champion, having lost the TNT championship, yet still walking away that night as the current TNT champion. Like I said, it was an emotional roller coaster. It was a freaking awesome story being told, which is obviously not done, and I can't wait. This one easily gets a 5 out of 5. Yeah! Then the finals of the Continental Classic Tournament to crown the first North American Triple Crown champion and first ever Continental Crown champion. As of the pay-per-view, it still hasn't been confirmed whether or not it's going to be a title that is defended regularly or if it's just something they win for winning the Continental Classic, which they have said is going to happen every year. Kind of like when they win the Owen Hart Invitational Tournament and they get a title. We don't know yet. Whoever won this tournament was not only going to walk away with the Continental Crown title, but also the Ring of Honor World Championship and the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Championship. And the finals of this round-robin tournament had come down to Eddie Kingston versus Jon Moxley. This match was another fantastic match. Although not flashy. But you know what? Sometimes that's fine. Sometimes we just want a good, brutal, back-and-forth brawl. And we got that from two of the best at brawling. There was so much back and forth. There was so much drama in this match. Honestly, this was one that was unpredictable. Were they going to give it to Eddie Kingston, who put up the Ring of Honor World and NJPW Strong Openweight titles in the first place? Or were they going to give it to Jon Moxley and have a rivalry build more between him and Eddie Kingston? Who could tell? And that makes for exciting matches when we really can't predict the outcome. And we couldn't. Even during the match, we couldn't predict the outcome. Until finally, at the end of the match, Eddie Kingston got a second Hurricane, knocking Jon Moxley out, and got the pin, not only retaining his Ring of Honor World and NJPW Strong Openweight Champion, but becoming the first Continental Crown title winner. Which, by the way, a beautiful championship belt. Bravo. But as far as whether or not there'll be a rivalry, I don't think so, because after the match, the two friends hugged it out. This match was awesome. It was an emotional roller coaster. You couldn't look away. Another 5 out of 5. Yeah! Then the main event for the AEW World Championship. Samoa Joe challenges MJF. Great match, great story. Of course, Joe being bigger, stronger, and not as riddled with injuries as MJF is, he dominated most of the match, but MJF still got in plenty of offense. Not to mention, MJF had Adam Cole at his side. But this kind of didn't help him, as he went to Adam Cole to get the Dynamite Diamond ring that he uses to cheat. Because even though MJF is a babyface now, he's a heelish babyface. But Adam Cole was fumbling around so much trying to find the ring that allowed Joe to get the coquina clutch onto MJF and literally choke him out, to the point that the referee held his arm up and it dropped 3 times, meaning that MJF was out cold, meaning Samoa Joe is the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. But then after he left, we had the culmination of the Devil storyline. For the last couple of months, the Devil has been coming out, attacking MJF's friends, making people think that he was the Devil, maybe he wasn't the Devil, but even a couple times attacking MJF, up until the point that last week, on the last Dynamite, they had cost MJF and Adam Cole the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships to the Devil's Helpers. As the Devil's Helpers had MJF and Adam Cole been restrained, were about to hit Adam Cole with a chair, the lights went out, and when it came back on, Adam Cole was sitting in that chair, revealing that Adam Cole was the Devil. And his helpers, of course, Roderick Strong, The Kingdom, and Wardlow. The match, the story being told, everything, another 5 out of 5. Yeah! So AEW World's End overall, pretty damn good pay-per-view. Yeah, sure, it had a few 3s, but no 3s were bad. They just weren't quite good enough to become 4s. Had a couple of 4s, ended the night with 3 straight 5s. Like, honestly, the last 3 matches, with them all being so dang good, was a little overwhelming. The only thing I will say is, like, the 2 8-man tags. It's one thing to have an 8-man tag on a pay-per-view, but 2 of them, a little much. But they were good 8-man tags, so whatever. It was a little disappointing that we didn't get to see Keith Lee versus Swerve Strickland, but it's one of those situations of it is what it is. Guy's injured, wasn't cleared to fight, and I'd rather him not go out there and hurt himself even worse and get himself permanently injured. The TNT Championship match, it was freaking cool. It was great. I mean, we knew it was going to be great. It's Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. They have great chemistry teaming up or being opponents, but I thought it was kind of a cool swerve to not only keep instigating the story that's building up between Kill Switch and Christian Cage, but also swerving the audience. Like, we thought we had a new TNT champion. We did for like 30 seconds. The Continental Classic ended great. Honestly, it ended so great, I wouldn't have cared which one of those actually won the Continental Classic. Either one would have been a great story. Whether they were ending that part of the story or creating a new one was great. As of the filming of this, and as of the pay-per-view, they have not confirmed whether or not this is going to be a mid-card title that they're defending regularly, or if it's just going to be a prize they get for winning the Continental Classic every year. Because they have confirmed they're going to do the Continental Classic every year, and every year that the title will be on the line in the Continental Classic. I'm kind of hoping it's just the latter, because they've got enough mid-card titles. 2 men's mid-card titles and a women's mid-card title is plenty. Not to mention with them having the tag titles, the trios titles, they've got enough. Not to mention the Ring of Honor titles regularly being defended on AEW television. They've got enough titles. But hey, at least Tony Khan is keeping belt makers in business. Then the world title match. The biggest complaint people have been given is that it's predictable because we know MJF's contract is coming up. He says he wanted to finish out the storyline because he needs to heal from his injuries, which obviously they've been piling up. He's had a good run as the champion. But there's also the factor of the Devil being revealed to be Adam Cole. Everybody's complaining that it was predictable, which those were the 2 biggest guesses. It was either Adam Cole or it was Jungle Boy. Honestly, in my opinion, it made more sense to be Adam Cole. And sometimes something's not great because it was a swerve or because it was a mystery. Sometimes the predictable is great too. Because if MJF renews his contract and comes back, this is a hot storyline ready to go. I'm imagining that originally the Devil was going to be Adam Cole taking the title from him, but Adam Cole is still recovering from his ankle surgery. So Samoa Joe being the champion, that's fine with me too. Ultimately, all around, not much I can really complain about with this pay-per-view. Easily it gets a 4 out of 5. Yeah! So there you have it. That's my wrestling review this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit like, subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications when I post videos, and leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of AEW World's End. Love you guys.